best bits.
See, now I captured that and we're live. So, we've used all of your best bits. Hey everyone!
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Welcome back to Chesh Breaks. I'm, of course...
Probably...
Jeez, everyone's just talking over me. It's highly professional. Highly professional. You jerks. We're a bit...
Right, we look great.
Look great. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Chesh from Chesh Breaks. I am here with my lovely, wonderful co-host, Sam. Sam, how you doing?
I'm great, Chesh. I got a beer. It's a Monday night. It's a good weekend.
Oh, you've got a beer. This explains the whole chit-chat before the show where I had to tell you to shut the fuck up.
No, it's not going to end there, dude. So,
although hashtag
happy
swearing.
Monday, dude.
And of course, we have a special guest. We are here with, I guess I have to say, hashtag sponsored by guff.com.au for all of your gaming needs. I know I don't have to, but I'm going to every time.
You don't have to.
But we got Jim from Guff.
Thanks, mate.
That's why your image is in the top right up there, as per usual. That's all right. Like, yeah, you send us free shit now and again, and you give us deals, so you know.
He sends us beers and burritos.
Yeah, I'm more than one beer in, so
wait,
go.
burritos?
Exactly.
Am I gonna get burritos? I want fucking burritos.
Well, I'm just dropping that. You know, look, this is what you do, Chesh. You manifest the thing in the universe, and then it appears. And yeah, exactly.
Well, last night I made peri peri chicken from scratch. So
that was hot.
I wonder if I can get Chesh a burrito delivered on Uber Eats.
As a gesture of allegiance, I like it.
Just go like.
Yep. I've been thinking about sending
unwrapping on stream.
I've been thinking about sending Chesh some bread if I could reasonably do it in time, but knowing any fast courier service would still get there by 2021. So
yeah
I always say if people are going to send me anything, send me some liqueur. Always send me liqueur.
Yeah, last. That's a
I
good
tried
point.
to learn how to make limoncello.
Oh,
I love limoncello.
And how
yeah, I
did that
adore
go?
it. You go to Italy, you have it with every meal, and you're like, "Yep, I want this. This is the best."
Apparently, if you watch YouTube as much as I do, you can learn how to make it.
Wow.
Exactly, and if life gives you lemons, you make limoncello.
But I haven't actually made any yet.
Oh, we'll get there.
I
I'm
know how
getting
to.
to brew too, so yeah, we'll get there.
True.
We'll get there.
So I guess we should start off with what the hell I got in the mail this week. So thanks to Josh.
They're
Mail
magic
time.
cards, Chesh. What the hell's going on here?
Mail time.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's already off the rails. I knew having Jim on would be a problem. I just knew it.
I didn't know there was Didn't know there was going to be rails, mate. No one mentioned rails.
He can say what he
I'm
wants.
an old man and I'm blind. I have to have rails.
You can kick me off, but not Jim.
Exactly.
I reckon I'm first to go. What have you got, Chesh?
Yeah. No patience apparently.
Nah.
For fools.
That's the old man.
That's the old man in me. So Josh and Pat's MTG Bazaar sent out 2 collector's boosters and Zendikar Rising pre-release kit. They're not for the stream. They're for another stream. I just thought I'd drop that in there.
Nice. What stream are they for? Don't tempt us like this, Chesh. Tell us where to get them. Give us a call to action, please.
So I'm thinking we might give one of the collector's boosters contents away. A part of the contents. I'll explain that in a second. I'm thinking on Commander Crunch Boxing League.
Yes.
That's happening tomorrow
the Superior
night
show, exactly.
at 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, AEDT.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. And the rares or better that come out of that will be sent to a lucky viewer. So you'll have to be watching, and I'm going to be asking you a question at some time in the game that's going to relate to the first EDH Boxing League video, which was the unboxing. Yeah, I'm going to make it hard. Like, I'm not going to just give it to people for fucking free. Like, make them work for it. You know?
Yeah.
Jeez. The pre-release kit... I don't know. I'll work out.
What was
Maybe...
Chesh's wrestling name will be the question or something. So,
No,
yeah.
no. No, because I want the promo out of it. So I'm going to take the promo. But I'll figure the rest of it out. I don't know. One collector's booster we'll do on the Commander Crunch podcast, commandercrunch.fireside.fm. So you'll have to tune in for that. Go away for stupid birds. No, we're not going to crack one now.
Place it.
You'll replace it?
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
Right.
No, don't Chesh. That's an offer. That's
I've got to send you Pokemon codes anyway, so maybe
Alright.
make postage worth it.
Then I'll leave it to you. Which one are we cracking, left or right?
Commander Crunch, I vote we can do that. So
You're not going to lose one.
Which one do you want to crack?
Left.
Left?
man.
Yeah.
Shut up. Alright, let's...
Chesh, before you do this, you're dropping frames again. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not dropping any frames.
I think it's because I'm watching YouTube while he's watching YouTube, so I think it's just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm watching too much.
Because I'm telling you right now, I'm sitting here and I'm actually watching...
It's just me, and we can do this.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting here watching... I've dropped 6.6%.
Oh, you're watching the YouTubes?
No, I'm watching my stream. Through Slobs. Directly. So it's in the green.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
It's
3
Discord
viewers.
being a bit crap then, so I might even just watch it through YouTube. Anyway, proceed.
That's fine. Let me just turn off the autofocus.
Thanks.
So we got a Hydra token.
Jim, is this like a little a kind of indirect little arms race here too? Like,
think it is.
I'm gonna replace the pack. No, I approve.
I just want to see good content.
Yeah, hashtag sponsored by Guff. So we got a Molten Blast. We got a Seafloor Stalker. So reminds me of next. We got a Might of Marasa. We have a Deadworm. I should have paid more attention to the spoilers on this set, but I didn't have a spoiler card, so I didn't really pay any attention. McKinney-Ox.
Everyone else did.
I'm done. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
And no one's got a spoiler card for Commander Legends.
Yeah, no, I need to hit up Henry about that.
Well,
actually.
that's a sore point.
Yep.
That is a very sore point. We talked about it on the podcast this week.
Son of the
It
Swamps.
sucks. It really does.
So our first double face is Bayan Vale. And Foil Plains.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got an Inscription of Abundance. That's kind of cool, I guess.
They're not quite commands, but they're fun, I guess. The best way to put them. Choices are good in Commander. It's fun. So.
Nihiri's Lithamon. Sure. Sacrifice X lands for each land sacrifices away. Draw a card. You may play X additional lands this turn. Lands you control into the battlefield tapped this turn. That seems decidedly underpowered and
I
average.
do like that. That's a funky... Yeah, but that's what they got to do sometimes. They either make it really underpowered or really overpowered. But it's
no mid-ground.
No, exactly. It's a funky red scape shift. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Kazandu Nectarpod? Sure.
I quite like this expedition of whatever they're calling it now. What do they call this one? The art style.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Are they still called like?
I like the reds. I think the color looks really good. The big bright sort of features, but yeah. I'm a fan. A lot of people
like
have said
that they open up for something different every time too. Like that's quite nice.
Because these were
I think everything's trying to look
point.
back at Kaladesh as like the way they did their invocations or expeditions or whatever, and they were the best. Like they're the best, one of the first ones, and they're like, I think Niki is keeping the frame fairly close to what it was, but just adding new things.
Yeah, and I still like a black border, personally.
Yeah, totally.
I understand the full art love, but I still really like a black border on a Magic card.
Yeah, me too.
Daryl still drops.
Evening, Daryl.
No, you didn't. Hey, Daryl. Hey, Wade. All right, here we go. It's another one. A Skyclave Pickaxe. And okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Pathway. I'm just gonna.
Love a good pathway.
Love a good full art land.
There's one that looks like the character's playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on a big vine.
I have to go look at the art now.
McKinney-Ox. I think the one that you're talking about is that the one that you're talking about is the Gobbo.
Maybe. No, I was thinking like the green-white one. I'm pretty sure.
But wasn't there?
It's like a core guy
Yeah. Just like skating the vine. Oh no, it is that one. So you did get that one. Never mind.
Hey Sam.
Whoop.
Yo.
You crab.
I'm watching YouTube, so it's a little bit. Hey, the crab. Charix?
Why are you watching on YouTube? Why are you not watching it through Discord?
Because Discord was playing up for me.
And same. Discord sucks.
Yeah, Discord was trying to like pump way too much bandwidth, and I couldn't see anything. So
okay, well, let me just.
All right, Daryl says that the Theros full art, the best looking lands the last 20 years. I think you're a Pokemon player. That's why, Daryl.
Wow.
Yep. Pokemon players love those lands. Maybe.
Look, I love the full art lands.
Unstable are good too.
Yeah, no, I thought that.
No, I think they're pretty cool. But I've got weird taste in land. I like Lorwyn and Phyrexian.
You really do.
Lorwyn lands were really cool because they never really looked like they were supposed to. Like the swamps had colours.
Oh, I was about to say that. So yeah, the swamp. I hoard the swamps because they have flowers and like wild colours for the
they look really sick.
Cool. Yeah, I love that to bits. So yeah, pimp your basics, people. That's the best thing to do in Magic. For sure. Your lands tell a lot about you as a person.
That's why I have a full art set for drafting. Because I'm fancy.
Yeah.
Like that.
I've got my
man,
that makes me a bit sad. I've got my draft box, which is just my lands and everything, just ready to roll. Because I appreciate my draft on a Wednesday night so much, and I haven't done it this year pretty much, and it's like. Makes me sad thinking about it. I haven't even pulled out my draft lands, damn it.
The vibe inside the store, just not having people around and Magic players, all the different TCGs, but just missing that core every Friday night. Like we've been in it for so long, and just not having it. It's just you turn off, you lock the door on a Friday night at 5 instead of 10 because you haven't got the draft, and you just think you walk out and look through the window and just go, where's all my people that every Friday night they'd come in and you'd get to say hello and you talk about the week and you generally just spend most of the time just socialising. Then they play a bit of Magic, and that's the part I really miss from the whole COVID stuff.
I think that's it. That I had the same revelation that I was like, I think we all downplayed what that interaction meant on once or twice a week or whatever at the store. And this totally applies to not just Magic, to anything else people are playing, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, even in collecting basketball cards and going to Cherry, that kind of thing. It's the fact that we all have a collective hobby. We go there and do it, and I really, like I said, downplayed my Wednesday night draft. I realized these guys were my inadvertent support group, and it was like. It was the barbershop chat. It was we're all from different walks of life, and we have chats, and this is what it's all about.
It's commonality. Wow. That one thing that everyone sort of comes together, and you do meet
it breaks the ice. Exactly.
A diverse group of people that you probably wouldn't normally go, that's my mate. I meet these people other than over that one particular topic.
Exactly, and I think that's what I can credit with Magic with the most, and now actually, doing some basketball stuff with Chesh. It's like. I've met a bunch of awesome mates like in our little community with basketball stuff. Like I've always been a massive basketball fan, but like far out, like this is what it's about. We use that's the icebreaker, and then we start talking about other stuff. Like talk to Daryl about he's in New Zealand. I talked a ton to him about like what's going on with the snow and stuff, and like what it's about. It's awesome.
Yeah, my big ultimate goal, like before the whole COVID thing and the NBA was starting to really boom, was just to get back to that level of people coming into a store. And talking about that one passion, because at the moment it's very online, and the boom of NBA it's all online at the moment. There's no real sort of physical meetups, and I want to do trade days, and you can bring your kids down, and here's a handful of base optic, and just get everyone involved again.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. Like it's definitely there in Melbourne. But we're all at home, and I mean we are for that reason. But I think even before that, like Cherry was helping with that as well. But we've
done a phenomenal job.
More push, and that's what really excited me when Chesh said, Guff are going to be doing more basketball stuff. It's about because you're exactly right. You tap into something we had as kids, and we were like, well, we're doing trade kind of things, and you then echo what we get from Magic. We know what that's about now, and you get that kind of from the TCGs. You get in the basketball card things as well. Next thing you know, you got mates and whatever, and you got a collective kind of hobby, which is amazing. So I'm really excited.
Nothing better too. Like we've done a lot with the Pokemon and the young kids. Is it's like they'll trade a $2 card for a $50 card because that Pokemon's their favorite.
Yeah,
So we spend a lot of time in store over the years educating kids on not just the fun that is trading cards, but the values and the parents about what they know about, and getting mum and dad to look in the kids' binder and go through it with them and jump online and check Troll and Toad and oh, wow, that's a $20 note.
What's that?
Put a little slip
Pokemon
behind
bag?
it in the playground saying, "Do not trade this."
Yeah, you're kind of learning a little, I guess, knowledge without being too. Another podcast today, and it was a Magic one. They're talking about that and the kids getting inadvertently, like, I remember it as a kid with Pokemon cards. There's always that kid at school that fleaces the other kids.
Yep.
Like, it's just like they've got it innately like built into them to kind of capitalize on things and go, oh, this is a cool looking card, go this, and it's just a crappy comment.
Well, we've done that with kids like that are really deep into the hobby and they get right into it and they collect and they know the values. The thing they've got to do when they go to school is not to hose the other kids. They've got to
be respectful, exactly.
Yeah, teach their mates and show them why you love it, and not just say, "I'll trade you this for this," and walk out with because they know the values. And that's where getting the parents involved, I think, is really important too. Chesh is wavering.
Yeah, I know. Get into it, Chesh. Sorry, we could tangent everything, but I think this is a pretty deep topic that I was thinking about today, and I'm glad we got into it. But we'll return later. What else you got on the mail day, Chesh?
Open your flower cards.
Not the next 4 hours, that's for sure. So I need to bring up the Etsy of this person. Actually, if you search Etsy for Popipin, Popipin. So late one night. Popipin. And I think you might need to pay attention to this one, Jim.
Opened.
I think you'll see why in a second. So there was late night. I saw a post late night, which was basically addressed to Melbourne people. Yes, and it was like, "Hey, Melbourne people, I know you've been doing it really hard. If you chuck me your address, I'm going to send you something, just a little something to say. Hang in there, and everything will be all right." And I was like, "I'll jump in on this. Why not?" Hang in there, and everything will be all right. And I was like, "I'll jump in on this. Why not?" Not telling Faye that I was, a content creator or anything like that until after it had been done. And I was like, "Oh, also I do YouTube over here, and do you mind if I, show it off on the YouTube?" "Oh, yeah, absolutely you can." So, nice, lovely little letter, just basically saying like, if you're finding it rough, just, there's always people around. You can always contact people, which is lovely. That kind of like, hey, this is a community spirit. Got some really cool stickers for me. Are pretty much all in my color scheme, which was completely coincidental apparently. But
who doesn't like stickers?
I love stickers. It's so cute.
Stickers freaking rock.
And one of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, sometimes, especially when I drink, I'm a bit of a slow bro. Scored a Steam Siege booster, the dreaded Steam Siege. Which, look, was an okay set. It just wasn't worth anything.
No.
But this is what I think that you'll probably want to see, is this absolutely gorgeous pin. I tell you what, it's good by somebody who's not doing official merchandise in a long time. Like, it's a really nice pin. Presentation is fantastic, so
yes, well done.
I just thought I'd bring that up. It's really lovely. So thanks for that. And we're going to crack this booster before we go through the shambles that is this from a community member, which I'll talk to you about in a second. Which Sam pointed out before and was like, "I hope your address isn't on that." I'm like, "It doesn't really matter anyway." If you've never bought anything on eBay,
it wouldn't be.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a mail day without a little a fun one that didn't go to plan.
Code card for somebody. Okay, great. Let's chuck that down there. I think it's like 1, 2, 3. This didn't survive the post real well, I'm gonna be honest. Unfortunately. Some of the corners are a bit...
Oh no.
Fine. Lampent. What have we got? Braviary. Nuzleaf. A Litwick.
I'm gonna be excited if I say a Pokemon I recognize.
Hoppip. Dino. Littlo. Leo. Nose Pass.
Dino.
And a foil Amber reverse. And of course, I would hit a GX. Oh, Kenyon. which actually was one of the better hits out of the set. So take that for your RC luck.
Yeah. So what's your hit rate on GXs? Is that a generally known thing or?
Generally out of a box you get between, well, you usually get 4 to 6 from memory. It's been a while since I've opened a full box. Jim can confirm that.
Oh yeah. Pretty well then.
Mm-hmm. Now this actually comes from the Cherry Crew. This was chucked in my letterbox like this. Don't worry, it wasn't posted. This is part of the gag. The gag continues with the amazing cardboard.
Oh, it's the gag. Okay.
And then actually chucked in a team bag. Actually well protected in a top loader. So the gag was the fact that he was just like, yeah, I'm just going to chuck this in your mailbox. We've got a cousin, James Harden, and another cousin, which was just lovely.
So Chesh, my friend, what possessed you recently? And I don't mean this in a negative way at all. No way. But what kind of got you in what was the allure to get into James Harden as a one of the PC lately?
Okay, so
is it the beard?
Yeah,
it's absolutely. I have so much beard envy.
The thing is majestic.
It is majestic. No,
as a man that can't grow a full beard, I look at it. You know what? That's my kind of beard.
Yeah.
As a man who can't grow black facial hair on any part of my face at all.
Mine started coming in late, and now it's just gone great.
Yeah.
They're just
I was much the same.
everywhere.
Yeah,
that's right. I'd rather be a wizard than a ranger. I was about to say, but yeah, that's just me. Like,
I'm losing my ranginess to my wizardness. That's
me too. I'm getting wizard on the side instead of ginger, which is great.
Yeah, I pulled out a stray hair the other day, and it's one of the red ones. I was like, no, what am I doing?
Yeah, you're abolished, mate. So.
We had hairdressers open up like today, and I'm like, I don't think I'll cut it because I think the greys are hidden under the browns that are still long. So I'm just gonna leave it at that and let it grow out.
All these people coming out right now, like Tom Hanks from Survivor, or like Castaway, whatever. Sorry, and just like, whoa. Actually, no, I don't mind long hair.
We just leave that. We'll just brush the brown ones over the grey ones.
Yeah, all these weird hairstyles are happening as a like either let your hair grow long or I just went crazy and shaved my hair for some reason. My nephew got a mohawk from my my brother-in-law. He's just like, no, I wanted to cut Austin's hair. And my sister was like, yeah, okay. And it's like, whoa, you really? Okay. Wow. So he's got a sick mohawk. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. The best. Yeah, approved. So the raddest 4-year-old you've ever seen.
Yeah, you can pull it off a 4-year-old. No one's going to judge you for a mohawk.
The best part of that is all the other parents are just like...
45, though, when I walk around with a mohawk, they're going to look at me and go, what are you doing, mate?
Chesh, you've done some hairstyles, haven't you? Yeah, exactly.
I have.
But the neighbours, the funniest part of that, I like the residual effect of that. Like the neighbours' kids and like, you know, the other daycare kids or whatever, they're all like, oh, I want that hair. And all the parents are like, oh, bloody hell, why did someone have to do that? You know,
it's like the Logan Paul effect.
Exactly. Oh, no.
Everyone's going to have mohawks.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't want to mention him, but yeah. Yeah, Chesh, you had a mega mohawk, didn't you?
I did. I had twin fins at one point when I was doing the rockabilly thing.
The twin... Yeah, I didn't know what to call them. They are twin fins, of course. Yeah.
During my semi-goth punk days, I had a nice big black mohawk. Because my hair has always been, like, really thin, so it's hard to really give it a cool hairstyle without it making it look, you know, fucked, basically.
Spindly.
So... and it's always been like that as well. So it's just like, but I've had my hair like really long. Like when I moved from the Gold Coast to Brisbane, my hair was down at my butt. And I remember we moved up in the summer, and that summer was the first time I decided to get my hair cut in many years. It was really bad because it was so hot. Just moving from the Gold Coast to Brisbane, like the Gold Coast was warm during summer. But Brisbane was like the desert during summer. It was horrible. I remember going for a walk from Auchenflower to Toowong, which is about a 20 to 30 minute walk, and I was lobster red by the time I got home. It's just
sound like made up town names.
Auchenflower.
Legit.
Toowong.
You just made those up on the spot.
Look them up. Kellett Street
Exactly.
in Auchenflower.
Yes, I digress.
But you were asking me about James Harden before you start getting further into your beer.
Not just me in Discord that's killing.
Yeah, I was about to go back there. I was going to guide us back there. Don't worry. But I never want to dismiss a story, and I want to keep the stories going.
Really
where
sure
they can,
James
but-
Harden could pull off a wicked mohawk.
Oh, of course. And he kind of has had one. He's at the Mr. T kind of
Mr.
one
T,
anyway. Yeah. Which works. But yeah, so what happened with James Harden? And what made you flip to a James Harden fan?
Doesn't.
Oh no, the stream's in. What?
No, the stream's up. Don't worry. I'm just killing the video feed to you guys because I was noticing that
Oh, it's just me.
it was killing my Discord. Like, my voice in Discord is being a bit weird.
Oh, Discord's been a hassle. I don't even know why.
It's because it's Discord. Like, all
exactly.
chat programs are fucked, but Discord's just being extra hammy lately.
Yeah.
So James Harden, here's the thing, right? As anyone may know by the way that I quote-unquote invest in or PC players, I look at what the player's history is, how they play, and in James Harden's case, what rules they've been able to bend so far that the NBA has had to change them.
Totally.
And this was a big one because people are like, I hate James Harden the way he plays, like, he's a dirty player. And I'm like, no, like, if you are the
respect.
best, and actually, we touched on this, Jim, before we went live about the Brisbane Regionals. If you can, let's say in a trading card game, if you can make a deck that absolutely runs a very fine line between really good and absolutely broken, you're gonna use it.
Pushing the boundaries, yeah.
Yeah, and Harden pushes those boundaries and is always trying to find a way to bend the rules in his favor. Just like Charles Barkley did back in the day, right? So Barkley is the reason why there's a certain amount of seconds that you can be in the key now. Because Barkley would just inch back and inch back and inch back, inch back, inch back, inch back, and then lay up on somebody or dunk on them straight up. You know, the same with Shaq. Shaq used to do it as well. You'd see like Shaq would be like doing his Shaq shimmer, where he'd like push somebody back until he could just dunk on them. You know, and it's those kinds of things you need to look at when you're looking at like, do I like the way the player plays? Do they look good? Do I think that their cards will have value because of not only because of how they play, but how the cards look?
Yeah, and the impact the player has.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can tell me that you hate Jordan because of whatever reason, but when you look at Jordan's cards especially...
That's just like the whole oppositional, like, sports fan mentality. It's just like, oh, I hate them, beat my team, whatever, or like, or just don't like being liking the guy who was the best, or whatever. It's the whole like not liking Kobe type thing,
and that's fine.
Respect that,
but that's fine. But looking at it from an objective point of view, if you don't like Michael Jordan because of XYZ, you got to admit his cards are 99% iconic, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Very few of his cards look horrible. Not from a design aesthetic, but from... Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But hence why I said very few, right? Because a lot of them are like him doing layups or him doing dunks or, you know, him doing like that one arm up, one arm behind, like tongue out, eyes closed, smashing dunk that he does. You know?
Every other card, that's just him standing there holding a trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a caveat there, though, Chesh, that I've had this theory I've thought about dunking way too much over the years, and it's something I can do very badly compared to Michael Jordan, of course. But I've always enjoyed the dunk contest every year, whatever. But it's the thing where this is a game where it's about scoring more points than the other team. That's fine, but it's a weird byproduct that I am absolutely have an affinity towards the aesthetics of the game, and I love style, which in all honesty has no bearing on the outcome of the game. That's the funniest part of it. It's really weird. But
are we going to get to had Russell Westbrook's the way he dresses, or are we going to get through to a point of where James Harden dancing in the bleachers constantly?
Oh yeah, but like so style comes into play here too. So what I was going to say, like Jordan was one of the most amazing dunkers because he was creative and improvised and used his legs more than anything. I basically came to the conclusion that dunking's all about your legs in a weird way, like what you do with them. You flare them out, make it look more difficult, whatever. So similar thing there. I think James Harden totally has a case to be made that I love weird players, unorthodox, just strange players that almost work on their own time signature in a weird way. And I'm thinking Luka's in a similar kind of vein, and that's what's really evocative, just really interesting about James Harden. People hate him because they think he's unfair, and it's like I think he's warping the rules in a kind of a sportsman-like way, I guess. Like he's still doing stuff within the rules of the game, but it's like they will have to change around him, which I think is, like you say, has to be respected. But the craziest thing about, I see it in Luka and James Harden, you watch them play, they don't look particularly fast. That's the weirdest part of them. It's like they have a little time singularity. They slow time around them, and they look like a normal kind of paced human, yet then they blow by like opponents. Like, it just happens. For some reason, they're tricked by their foolery or something, and it's effective. It's really strange, and I can't quite quantify what that is, but James Harden seems to slow time around him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's fun. He's weird. People even said, I remember when he came in the league, it was like Manu Ginobili, kind of like, yeah, I guess so. Like, Manu was a different player, but same thing. Lefty, weird, low to the game, but kind of fun at the same time. And then people say they flops too much. It's fine. Like, I don't know. We'll have that argument when the Houston Rockets are back in the kind of conference finals or something, and games are on the line, whatever. But yeah, or if James Harden's still in that team. So,
yeah, exactly.
Well, there you go.
But moving on.
All right, Chesh, you got things to open?
Things to open.
We don't have anything else to open. Yeah, it's discussion time.
Open the other MTG pack.
If you're going to replace it, I'll open it.
Yeah, all right.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah.
Not that I just appreciate good box cracking.
Exactly.
I call Chesh talks to people all day.
Well, no. I mean,
that's what the podcast's for as well.
Yeah, true.
About magic, but I mean, seriously though,
kind of is.
Jim, we've got to have you on, and we could have
we could do
a couple of beers and talk shop. I think
exactly. So we've got a construct. All right.
Pyramid Head.
Yep. Mesa Links. We've got an Expedition Skulker. Seagate Colossus, because he likes to party.
Mm-hmm.
Which is...
Hang on, I'm watching YouTube. I can't see it.
Yeah, me too. It's just like, because I've given up on Discord. It's not doing too well.
Yeah, me too. I can listen on Discord, but I can't watch on video.
Gul'Draz's Mucklord.
Oh, the Mucklord.
Yep.
Oh, it's almost synced up now. That's pretty good. Yeah. Nice.
Risen Riptide. We have...
Up a wave.
Lull Mage's Familiar. That's interesting. That's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny Ambush. Flips into a land. We got a Foil Island. Ooh. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Akiri Fearless Voyager.
Oh, nice. I still have not hit an Akiri after 2 booster boxes for some reason.
Legit.
Not a great card, but it's just like something I wouldn't mind making a fun commander deck out of.
Magmatic Channeler. We got a Spitfire Lagak. Not like a Saddleback Lagak. We've got another shitty Ox.
Oh,
what a farmyard animals.
Nahiri. Hello. That's a pretty mythic to pull. Shame it's not foil, but yeah, Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. And
nice. Cares about equipment. Cool.
Skyclave Squid in foil. And okay. Can't say bad things about that. Grackmore, Skyclave Ravager is our foil full art.
Oh, nice.
That's a really good pack.
Catch up. Come on, YouTube. You can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do it, YouTube. What are you doing? It shouldn't take too long to catch up.
Nah, it's not too bad. The delays there. Oh, Foil Island. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
Got a little bit behind. That's okay.
Open that pack, Chesh.
So, speaking of the pandemic, there is a couple of topics that we wanted to touch on with you, Jim. So,
touch away.
Obviously, the pandemic meant that the store had to close to the public twice.
Yes.
For extended periods of time. Once when they decided to lift those restrictions a bit hastily, and then were like, oh shit, nah, lock it down again. So obviously that means that you would have had to have found new strategies for keeping the business open. Now I know that you've got, reserve cash, and it's not a massive problem.
Had reserved cash.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. Like, for the first time, but obviously the second time would have been causing, stress, really. You would have had to have changed the way that your business operates, more of an online presence. So
it's become very much, it's changed the whole vibe of the store. The stores have changed so dramatically, even to the point now where we are looking on the brighter side and sort of coming out of the hardcore lockdown in Melbourne, to see what rebounds and to see who just forgot that they used to go to the store every Friday night to play Magic, or come Tuesday night for Dragon Ball, or Wednesday night was Yu-Gi-Oh night. How many of these players have just fallen out of that routine and pattern? Which we depend upon. We try and provide the night and the entertainment opportunity, but I know myself, when I've done something regularly on, every night for, or every week as a routine, then something breaks, and making sure we can engage people to come back to the store, because everyone's developed new strategies. There's people playing Commander online, there's a lot of Pokemon online play, there's Arena, there's all of these tools to still enjoy your game that doesn't involve me. So trying to figure out a way to make that important again is probably the most pressing issue. Even with our tabletop scene, with our Games Workshop stuff, Star Wars Legion, insert miniature games coming out the wazoo, it's trying to make sure that those people that have always supported us, have continued to support us through online shopping, still want to come back to the store for the same reasons. So yeah, it's been a real, I don't know, it's not been a good experience by any stretch, but it has been an experience. So it's made me rethink the business and the strategies that we used to put in place, and maybe the complacency of LGSs and just assuming that people were going to turn up.
And that was going to be a comment I was going to make as well, like, because a lot of LGSs always ran on the, like, well, people come into the store, I don't need to worry that much about, like, online. And now it's like, oh, everything's fucked. Now I have to worry about, like, my online presence. I have to corral people into, like, hey, come to my website and buy my stuff. Like,
yeah, and I think that's even greater into life there, Chesh, too. That it's expecting everything's going to be the way it is next week. And like that is the thing that I was just thinking about then. That I think on a bright side, you ultimately look at everything and go, well, there's all this stuff we took for granted and expected whatever. Now we know what it's like when something's taken away, and we don't know what we had until it's gone. And that's the bright side I look at that, Jim, that as far as I'm hoping we see a lot of people, like we've seen, return to the hobby in basketball. Thanks, Logan Paul, but Pokemon cards too, whatever. But
speaking of,
Magic maybe as well. Like I don't know how many people I've seen come back to it in this time, but anyway. But still, I'm hoping people see more than anything go, oh, I'd really love to even just have some human interaction when we can, and look forward to it and start to almost prepare for it and go, well, that's what they appreciate. They appreciate all the little things in life, and that's the way I'm looking at it. Everything is not a taken for granted experience anymore. Everything, you look at the absolute value it has, and you appreciate it for what it is, kind of thing. But
and what it brings to you as a person, what it means to you. And this is, no one's ever going to look at, I don't think anyone's going to look at the same places and the same style that we used to do. I think there's going to be this hesitance for a while about, do I go and put myself at risk? Do I expose myself, my family?
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, so it's going to be a while, and you can put in place all the COVID practices you could imagine sanitizers, like the screens between tables, spacing, but everyone's still a little bit like this. The knock-on effect from just being in that one place with the wrong person, who inadvertently
one anti-masker
could
motherfucker
do the wrong thing. You look at, people get this and they still don't know they've got it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hard part, because I think most people are fairly aware that what they do has repercussions upon their friends and their groups.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expose your social circle to, like, I've got COVID or I'm unwell. Like, even if you got a cold, you stay home because you don't want to make everyone else in your playgroup sick.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting rebound. And it's hard to be really positive about it, but I'm hopeful, if that's a better word for it, that we get back on track and people sort of see the value of, as we touched on earlier, about hanging out with their mates, talking shit, playing Magic, playing Pokemon, playing whatever they want to play, trading cards in that sort of one-on-one, physical environment.
Yeah, I think that's it, and I can definitely comment from Magic that the feeling has been that it's been a weird year, being that Arena's always been there for Magic. I, like a lot of people, especially Commander players, look at Arena and go, this is fun, it serves a purpose, but it's albeit very, very slim. Like, you very quickly realize there's no people there, and that sucks. Like, it's just like, that's not what I do it for. Even competitive, like, I still want to be playing a person.
Going to GPs and having Magic trips and hanging out at different cities, drinking beers, playing games.
Exactly.
It's what I lived for Magic. Like, some of the best times I've had in life are on a Magic trip away to some rando city and hanging out with 20-30 people from the stores, just drinking beers, talking about how they went, hearing a lot of good and bad, more bad stories than normal.
There's a lot, yeah.
Round 3, oh my god, and listen to it. But that's the whole part. That's the whole purpose of being part of a TCG group or an LGS community, is just to hang out with people that share that same passion and love that you do.
Yeah, and like, it's funny. It often comes from a space of in these games or whatever. Like, sometimes we are just nerds and a little bit social outcasts or whatever, and like you've got that immediate icebreaker, and like you say, that's what connects pathways to finding some of your best mates of your life, and that's what's really exciting. But yeah, I can definitely comment from the Commander crew, like the EDH community. So Chesh and I have done a podcast this year and got back into doing that, and it's like been amazing. We've been kind of using webcams as a way to connect to everyone and playing people in the States and everything. And it's like, wow, we've seen it as an opportunity in a weird way because of some of the technology. Commander has flourished in a year where it totally had no right to. It should have been almost dead and buried. And it's like, there's ways that was kind of circumvented. And people realize it's just like, this is just actually amazing, but we're all doing this as a de facto thing until we can play in paper. Like,
that's but the passion has driven the innovation. Like,
exactly.
There's no way 5 years ago someone said to me, "Do you want to play Magic on webcams?" I would have gone, "That's a stupid idea."
Yeah, I hated the idea, and it's like you play, okay.
Once you get in the groove,
it's not perfect, but it'll do for now. And I think that's the general consensus and feeling of it. It's like, this is really cool, and we've learned a lot about the game and the people that play it as well. And then that all can kind of funnel back into our local communities in a way. But yeah, we're all looking forward to that day where it's like, when we can safely do it. That's what it's going to be about, and I'm going to appreciate it. It's going to be amazing.
I mean, looking at our regional stores versus the Werribee store, which is in the hardcore lockdown, there has definitely been a flow back pretty quickly. So I'm encouraged to think that that's going to happen locally for me and all the other Melbourne stores. But, it's looking at what's happened in the regional centres. Didn't really take a lot for people to go, I want to go and play Magic. I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
I want to get back with my mates. I want to hang out. And everyone's been really good with understanding that we're in a position where we're providing this service, but we need you guys to act safely and be respectful of everyone else around you. So, it's never been an issue where people go, I don't want to use a hand sanitizer. Or no, I don't want to wear a mask. People have been really, really good with it, so it is appreciated from the broad, from a owner's perspective to the broader community, that every effort that they make to make this easier is deeply appreciated by us.
Yeah, it means we can maintain having this exactly. And now, I mean, I've said it before in a funny way, but it's like I really I remember rewind back to the start, like earlier in the year. I did not think Australians had it in us to wear masks.
Neither
I
did
thought
I.
we were way too stubborn, and I was like, no way. People, and it's the whole. There's a great TED talk on creating a movement, and there's like a bell curve of kind of uptake on doing something weird that no one feels comfortable doing. And it's a video of someone dancing on a hill. Everyone's like, what the hell is that person doing? Second person is the most important part in that whole bell curve. As soon as you see two people doing it, then there's early adopters, third, fourth, fifth. They start doing it, and it starts to take over a little bit. And it's most people just want to be comfortable. Like, that's it. They don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. And all that's all it took for going, well, guess what? It's not a negotiable now. You just have to wear one. It's like, oh, I don't feel like a weirdo now wearing one. And that's the key. And I think that's also the key for opening everything back up and whatever. And it's like, well, this is our good defense for the moment. Gonna be good. And now just watching, talking to a lot of people overseas as well. And they're like, wow, no one can really reasonably kind of keep that going. And it's really like, wow, I still can't believe we were able to do it. So, for sure.
Yeah, I was one of the early haters of the mask. I'm like, no way. I can't even see myself going outside.
Yeah.
But now it's just like there's one in the car, there's one hanging on my keys, there's one in my pocket, there's one in my work bag.
Yeah, it's just normal. Everyone does it. You're like, well, I don't need to question it. It's just what you do. And it's, for sure.
I'm just going to say about that one is like, masks to me are that thing that like, because like I grew up in the industrial goth community. So, they're almost second nature for me.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
It's like, oh, these are acceptable to wear it in public now? Fuck yes.
Yeah. That's great. Never thought about that one actually.
So, just as a side note here, so Jim, Geelong is going to be changing location.
We are moving.
Nice.
So we've been at 28 Malop Street for 14 years. So that place is it's been there a long time. It's very hard to uproot and take off, but there was a big push about 3 years ago where the state government was opening up a pathway from the waterfront to, I don't know whether they call it the streets, the restaurant precinct in Geelong. So they were touting they were going to knock down the building. We fought that pretty hard, thanks to a lot of the local community support. My wife Kerry drove a lot of the online and the fallback, or I guess you call it kickback, for knocking down what was a home for many of our community members. But this time, it's going to happen.
Oh, wow.
It had to happen. The building itself was getting a little bit dodgy. Been there a long time. We had some issues with the flooring, and it got to a point where it's too expensive to renovate a building that they were going to knock down anyway. So we've moved, I think it's 150 metres up Malop Street, which is not far. Yeah, but we moved upstairs, which was really unique because most of our all of our stores are ground level street front. So this place we've taken a lease on is bigger than the current space, brighter, nicer, but it is on a third floor, but it has an elevator, which was the only real reason we would take that sort of thing, because without having accessibility, you couldn't do what we do. So that's underway at the moment. Probably going to have a soft opening in the next couple of, I'd say days, but I'd probably say maybe a week away.
Ooh,
while we sort of put in everything. They're going to have a few test runs of the play space. We've got our tabletop area sort of set up now with 8 6x4s fully set up, ready to go. We've got comfortable sort of magic seating for, I think we've got 50 people slated for just set up seating all the time. And a fair retail space as well. So that should be nice.
That's exciting. Which way up Malop Street is it? What's the main street?
Back towards Market Square.
Oh wow!
Yeah, basically across the road from Market Square. There's a really nice Vietnamese banh mi place under us.
Yeah.
So
that's
really...
yeah. You know what? That's one of my big misses from. I mean, I haven't been back in my office in Richmond for a long time, but yeah. And I'm not actually in any rush to get back there. But the banh mi is a big reason.
They're a staple of my diet.
Yeah, and it's like $6 for lunch. It's like you can't even make it for that. It's too good. But no, that's really exciting. It's funny. I'm arranging to get my surfboard ferried over from Dad's place. He's on the peninsula, which is still technically the what do you call it? Melbourne Metro. So they're still locked down very much. But I'm in Kyneton, so regional Vic. Gonna meet up with the ferry at Point Lonsdale and get my get my board and go for a wave for the first time in about 4 months, which is really exciting. So definitely going to drop into Geelong and complete the Guff trifecta that I can access at the moment. So exciting stuff.
We're really excited. It's really you imagine how much crap you've sort of amassed up to 14, 15 years in the same space. So that's been a bit of a challenge.
Find out surprises, you know.
We have found some unique things.
I was going to say, everyone wants to hear the story about the old booster boxes and stuff. What are these doing here? This is great.
There may be some treasures that we haven't discovered. Good. There may be some treasures. We found half a golf club. That was pretty cool. It was missing the golf club head.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long story. Years and years ago, Mr. Telfer had an incident at Geelong.
Yeah, he did.
And someone gave him half a golf club to just make sure it didn't happen again. Like, it's a stick. But wow. So we found that.
See, I want to laugh at this, but I've seen the scars, so...
Yeah, that wasn't a fun day.
Yeah.
But, so now Paul's actually, funnily enough, Paul Telfer, who's one of the co-owners of Geelong, he's worked really hard because there's been that sort of COVID issue that I can't get there and do as much as I should be. Mark up in Ballarat has been a bit more flexible with it, but it's still really challenging. So Paul and Dave Wolf have sort of worn the brunt of the whole move, and they've done a pretty good job to this point.
Yeah, nice. There was a point I was going to touch on, and completely Chesh stopped me if I'm getting too far ahead, because it's going to be that gushy tone that, you know, I've been a fan of Guff for a long time, but it's kind of goes into the basketball stuff as well. That it really does go to show that, like, there's a reason Guff's been around for a long time, and it's like culture comes from the top down. Chesh and I will attest that completely from our experiences in corporate cultures, whatever. It's like you can't fake this crap, and that's the reason every time you go to a Guff store, there's just been a positive experience. Like, you just get it. There's a vibe in the air, you know. That's exactly what it is. It's just there's care for what's going on, and you can't fake that. And
it's appreciated. I mean, it's nice to hear, but I think a lot of what we've always tried to build is just a community hall space where you can conveniently buy the shit you like.
Yeah.
More so than building a shop with a play space. Build a play space with a shop.
Yeah.
And
exactly right.
That's always been one of the things we've looked at as why this is always what we've wanted to do. Is provide that sort of open, sort of social experience for people that, hey, while you're there, please buy some shit, because it really helps us.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes to show, it's like, well, it's also the whole thing. There's so many people go, I want to open a shop, probably for the wrong reasons. And
there's a lot of that going on at the moment.
Oh, totally. And it's like they'll last 6 months before they go, this is really hard. And it's like, because you need to switch around those priorities for a second. And it's like a lot of things I find in life, it's a trust. And that's really bloody hard for a lot of people to do. Like, trust in a almost intangible quantity.
Yep.
Which is like, you're trusting in an organic kind of growth of something. And it's like, when that actually works, it works amazingly. You kind of really have to take a leap of faith, of course, but you know that better than anyone. And it's like, but infinitely more rewarding too. If like most things are about the people, then, you know, the people are going to reward you too.
Absolutely. We've absolutely tried for the longest time to, as much as, like I said, you are a shop, but trying to sort of make that the secondary reason to come to the store.
Yeah.
And try and sort of keep it, you know, you can come and don't have to buy anything. If you just want to come and hang out with mates, play Commander on a Wednesday night, and sit there for 10 hours. We don't care.
Exactly.
Because it's also what engages other people to come into the store and normalizes hanging out in a store playing cards.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of people that come in for the first time and they'll see all these people yahooing and carrying on playing Magic, playing whatever game.
What are they playing? Yeah.
What are they doing? Like, so the more people you've got in store, it's a self-inherent marketing sort of strategy that it just makes you want to be involved in that.
Yeah, and back to the original reason of, the primary thing we do on Chesh Breaks, the NBA stuff, that's what's really exciting about starting to look into more of the basketball stuff. And
I long for the day when we can have a meetup day, which is NBA focused. It's like bring your collections, meet other people, talk about your hobby, just interact, trade cards, and just be a part of a community. Because I feel like that's what the NBA is missing at the moment. Is
absolutely
we're all buying and selling cards. We're all appreciating cards. We're all watching basketball. We're all enjoying that. But there's no connection between, dude A, dude B, chick C, whatever. That they can just come down and go, check out all my shit.
Yeah.
We've all flicked through people's trade binders for Magic and Pokemon for years and envied the collection that these people have amassed. And it's gone, wow. And it inspires you to get newer, better, higher end, or your personal collection stuff, get the fringe stuff that's really hard to find, or just amass the most base cards in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, really looking forward to that.
Insert Carson Edwards and all the...
Don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Oh, mate.
Speaking of, I have another order on the way, so you know.
Oh, yeah, nice.
That one cost me a little bit more than I wanted to pay, but...
What'd you get?
No,
don't tell us. We'll watch it on stream.
Oh, no, but you gotta... I really want to tell you, though.
Go, tell.
It's if I just bring it up here, hang on. Let me just make sure I get the name of this one right, because it's a little different. Because it's a Tmall. Tmall? Yes.
Is that the... where does Tmall come from? It's a...
China
exclusive?
Yes. They call it Tmall, because Tmall is the site that they release on. Okay. So this is a Red Wave Tmall Prism RPA patch auto from Select.
Okay.
Ooh. And it looks gorgeous. Looks really good.
Be one of the crown jewels of the cast and collection.
It's seriously, yeah. Like, the dude had it for like $100 because he was like, I bought it from Tmall. I know you love Carson. I'm selling it for $100. Make me an offer. And I was like, $70. He's like, done. And I'm like, shit. Maybe I should have said 50.
Nice.
Damn it.
Yeah. Oh, first offer accepted is always a weird one.
Like, yeah. I was like, maybe I just like way overpaid for this. But and
that's what I'm finding really hard knowing values. Like, because I'm pretty new to NBA, as a business side of things. Back in the heyday when I watched NBA when I was a kid, it was Jordan, Shaq, and Barkley and all that sort of stuff. So trying to sort of keep up with the new demand for this new breed of player has been really hard. And
I think it's more preemptive than ever. That's the strange thing. It can even be for rookies that aren't getting
the what ifs. Absolutely.
Almost like the Rui's. Like Rui's not doing a huge amount, but it's like the promise of Rui Hachimura. Like
Kobe White.
Exactly.
You know, Bulls rookie. Bulls haven't been doing real well, but everyone's like, I don't know. Like I've seen him play. It looks pretty good.
He's got cool hair. Like exactly.
Yeah. Me specking on Carson because Carson, put up a really good college, output. 17-18.
James Harden.
18-19 was pretty good, and then moving into the Red Claws, played extremely well, and then was benched by the Celtics because that's what Celtics do. Tyler Herro is another one, absolutely. Herro just absolutely going off during the playoffs was just
he had
crazy games,
For, I think that's the thing. That was capitalizing. A lot of people loved him during the regular season, just getting a few flashes of time. Like, oh, cool. Like it's like you say, it's like usually you'd wait till they've proven, but now there's so many people at it that it's so predictive and it's more volatile than ever. It's amazing.
Yeah, volatility
has a big game and it's gone.
I think that's the biggest problem with basketball at the moment is the volatility. Like watching like Ja hits Rookie of the Year and then his cards start going down. Like,
yeah.
Because
Exactly.
people are like,
maybe
oh,
he's not going to be the first ballot Hall of Famer. Damn it!
But it's not too dissimilar to like watching competitive trading card games.
Yeah.
Like one card stars on a weekend and the price goes boom, and the next weekend something else does pretty well and the card goes boom and the other card drops off. So I'm sort of watching it from the standpoint that I kind of know Magic cards. I like to think so. And I like to know a lot of other trading cards. So I'm sort of watching NBA with the same sort of, tune into the world champs or whatever's on stream, watch what people are playing, and then knowing that card's going to be the card that's the breakout card for the week. It might be the week, it might be for the month.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm trying to learn it. I don't know if that's the right way.
No, that's absolutely it. So
it feels like the thing I know that I'm trying to apply to things that I don't know.
So it's preemptive watching NBA. So let's take the Tyler Hero thing for example. That 40-point game or close to 40 points, or whatever it was,
and it went bananas.
Yeah, but
it went insane.
The main thing is that a lot of people were still holding off at the end of the game. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, because what you're looking at, you're going, all right, well, by the time this game is over, where do I think this player is going to be? So it's I guess part of it is that spec of going like, do I think this person's going to hit like a massive amount of points and go off? The other thing is waiting until the end of the game, and doing it when it starts to flood the market. Like, can you preemptively list before the market becomes flooded, so you're the first off the line, and you're the first one that people are starting to snag up, and that's the point.
Yes.
So yeah, you're very much right.
NBA and cards are wild. It's a whole Wild West thing. But I love to look at the game as far as almost the intangibles, but I don't spec on things. It's almost like I love trying to predict who's going to be good, not based on who came out of college the best or whatever. Or like that's the whole point. I always thought Draymond Green was going to be a really interesting player, and something I didn't necessarily think as successful as he was, but just the weird type players, almost like the James Harden thing we're talking about. It's like the players that kind of break some formats a little bit and go, there's something special there, and I couldn't quite figure out what. And I remember buying some $2 Draymond autos. I was like rookie autos. I'm like, yeah, sweet, like a bunch of them. It's like, I just think he's a cool player, and then I can sell them this year for a bit more, or probably should have a couple of years ago. But it's like that's the thing. It's like I think also basketball is an interesting one. We're not playing the cards, which is a different appeal to me these days. But I'll always be watching basketball. But it's just there's so many weird question marks, and I think it's predicting and ideally does reward your I don't know, knowledge of the game or almost kind of specs on things or premonitions, I guess.
I think I'm sort of always trying to watch is, and I don't understand it yet, but is how important is the supporting cast of the star? Like, so you've got LeBron and Anthony Davis, like he's like his right-hand man, so to speak. So if one guy gets a bit of airtime and does really well, do the people that provide him that airtime and provide him the feed and make him better, do they sort of go up in value along with, or are they just the nice job, mate, but your card's still worth $1.50?
Still worth $1.50.
I think it depends what context, but
it depends.
In Magic, the uncommons still can command a bit of price.
Yeah,
totally.
But in NBA, you can be the uncommon, you ain't getting shit.
Yeah,
I think objectively, like the makeup of things has more to do with the outcome than anything. Like even more so than people give it credit for. Like I love following the idea of mental health in the NBA and culture and how much that plays on how good a team is. You know, like it's the difference between having Steve Kerr you'd want to have a beer with and the type of coach that you feel like would yell at you for anything.
Yeah.
Those kind of cultures, and I think that's the future of the NBA. The great teams are the ones with a good culture, and that kind of thing. Like, does that play into it, or is it just? I think it even comes down to what's attractive and not. It's just like, oh, that's a boring player. And then we go back to Chesh as well. Like, this all being said, I still just recommend collect who you want to collect.
Yep.
And because you can look at things as specs. Exactly. Like find the players that make you happy. Like my Sonics cards aren't worth anything. but I love them. Maybe some Sean Kemp's because
Kemp is my guy. Me and my younger brother, Sean Kemp, with it. That was all out. That was all out. Everything. I've got a little stash of Sean Kemp's that I picked up from collection that I just put aside. That me and my brother are going to go. You know what? Back in the day, this was our guy.
Yeah. Oh, mega respect because him and Gary Payton are my all-time favorites, and the Sonics are, and it just. I mean, apparently he doesn't sign or do patches as much, so they're a bit more scarce. Like I've got a patch that might be worth something, but they mean more to me. It's sentimental. So,
yeah. That's what I was saying about me and my younger brother when we were watching NBA growing up. Like that's the guy that when I see it in a bulk box, or I'm going to pick him up every time.
Oh, yeah.
You're never going to get away. It's like I'm going to take him home because. Value or not, it brings back good memories.
Exactly, and that's another kind of figurehead for style too. I've always put like, look what he does with his legs when he dunks. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jim. So Jim Wade says, no, Wade, we're going to ignore your evolution box question. Is there any? It says there is ETB at Bendigo. I'm buying another 2. If that's true, can you confirm?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was going to say like if it's available on the site, yes. Yeah, exactly. Best to check in with them directly.
Look, all being reasonable and good. The in stock at store versus what is online can sometimes has some issues.
There's a disconnect at times, and that's always got to be completely understandable from an online.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the hardest parts about since the massive ramp into online is stock management.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing worse when someone like Wade goes, "I'll get those 2 Champions paths," and you go, "Shit, sorry, our stock was wrong." And it's
5 other people did the same click at the same time. It's like,
well, that happened for Mosaic. I think we listed Mosaic all at once.
Yeah,
and the site just got slammed, and we were scrambling, we were checking boxes, counting boosters, just going, whoa, what happened? That was the first time we really had good stock for NBA cards to list online, and it got eaten up within 15 minutes, like hundreds of boosters gone.
Mm-hmm. Daryl says, what modern player are you collecting? Are you even collecting any modern player?
Even if you're not collecting it, who would you have your eye on?
Yeah, no. This goes back to the Sean Kemp thing I was just talking about. My nephew, who's not my young nephew now, he's like 19 years old. He put me onto Russell Westbrook a few years back, and so I have also next to my Sean Kemps, I have a big stack of Russell Westbrook.
He's technically a Sonics player, so I've got a Russell Westbrook.
Theoretically,
card,
theoretically, yeah. So yeah, he's the other guy that I got a lot of. I do have a little binder of James Harden, so I'll take some photos for Al tomorrow.
Yeah, nice.
Only because when I bought a collection, and the guy had this little binder of James Hardens, and I went, you know what I'll do? I'll make this binder bigger. And I've just every time I see it in a bulk box or I go through it, I just go, oh, he goes in that binder. He goes in that binder. I now have moved to a bigger binder, but there's no one in particular modern that I'm truly sort of chasing that's not dollar signs, because they're the ones I really want. But for the 2 players that I probably go, you know what, I'll probably just put him aside. It's Sean Kemp from the old school and Westbrook from the more modern stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny you should bring up Harden again. I actually have a Gold Wave splash coming sometime this week.
Yeah,
that I snagged at like $70. Because if anyone remembers, during the season it was about 150 at one point. And one of my regulars from the breaks that we do contacted me and was like, "Oh hey, I've got these Harden cards if you want them. Do you want them?" And I was like, yeah, how much? Cool. And he's like, "Oh yeah, also I've got this Gold Wave splash as well." And I was like, "How much you want for that?" It's like, "Oh, look, it was $150. Let's say 70." I'm like, "Yeah, done. Yep." That to my collection.
I swear, I get a message from Chesh every week that says I've been bad. It's like I meant to stop.
When I first got in, I thought about, Zion. I'll just collect him. He's going to be easy enough. But no. Although when I opened some Corkins and the acetates, it's like I couldn't open a box without one. I think I have 6 now.
I mean, they're not worth as much as they were, but still.
It was sad. And I think they were at 400 at the time when Court Kings went
Yeah.
real big. I think they've fallen away to about 150, 160.
Yeah,
now.
150, 160. They'll go up next season though. Once we can start
the
doing
funny
this
thing
thing
about
again.
Zion, isn't it too? It's like
But
it's just like, oh, maybe he's not the first ballot Hall of Famer, like we said before. It's like, well, and a lot of people got cold feet really quickly.
Those acetate cards, man, they are so hard to look after.
Oh, I can
Oh
imagine.
yeah, they chip really easy.
Drag them through the air, and a dust particle can hit it and put a big scratch down it. It's like, come on. So I've got 5 good ones and one with a big dirty scratch coming out of the pack on it.
It just breathed on it wrong, you know.
Yeah, I really like the acetates. I think they look cool, but yeah, they're just such a imperfect way to try and keep them, to look after.
Mm.
I think one of my favourite cards from that series was the Dress to Impress.
Really?
I
I hated
them.
those. Actually, I have a
love
Russell.
them.
I actually have a
Man,
Russell
I think they
Westbrook
look
around
so
somewhere for you.
good.
No, I liked the level 3 rookies.
So one basketball.
Yeah, that's what I love about or it's almost like the wasn't there the ones Chesh when we were opening 1992? It was like the GQ best dressed or whatever. It was like Hakeem Olajuwon in his suit. It's like, yeah, that's
I
what
thought they were
about.
cool. They were just such a for me.
Yeah, it's so unbasketball, exactly.
Yeah, so unbasketball. And the level 3 rookies, they're the black and white background ones.
Yeah.
Is that the ones you're talking about, Chesh?
Yeah.
With like the squiggly doodles behind them.
Yeah,
I see that. I
they're
like
really,
those.
really
They
nice.
feel like the ones that came out. Who was the artist? The guy who's actually from South Australia.
Wade's trying to flog his cards. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, Wade's a legend. Yeah, he's got some LeBrons and some Zion. What was the artist's name? I've lost the name now, but does all the NBA art and did the Jason Tatum cards, and it's that kind of style.
The Marvel cards. I've seen a few. I've seen a collection of the Marvel. Like man, they are so good.
You know what I want? I want Downtown,
I missed
and
the
they're
boat on
apparently
those
like
so bad.
a case hit. From
Case hit.
yeah,
Get all of them.
the Downtown ones, and I really want the Downtown ones, and it's like I can't even get a case, so whatever. Like there's
just whatever.
I like the shoe ones too.
They're the ones
So
that
it's
look
like here's my shoe. Like
Yeah.
fair enough.
They
Let's
Wait,
get
like
all of those.
Is it a shoe patch?
Yeah.
yeah, the shoe ones.
Yeah, I love a weird patch. It's I've got a Gary Payton part of the floor patch. I'm like, yeah, this is the stuff. Like, it's just give me, I don't know, their sweat towel or something. It's fine.
I reckon before this the real, I knew I don't even know what I'm doing with NBA, but before it really sort of hit, we had a heap of threads. Stuff come through. You know, with the big giant oversized cards.
Yeah,
Man,
they were nuts.
that was so good. I think I want to get one of the I don't know what they're called, but they're the piece of the floor. They're on wooden panels.
Oh, the hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
I
They're
know
insane.
way too much about this shit now. God.
How does that become a thing that anyway.
Well, how does the wrestling mat become a thing? You know, like like they just invent a piece of the wrestling mat
Until you
in
just
a
said it, I
card.
did not know it was a thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a thing. I pulled one from the blaster that I didn't actually put up online because the video was taking too long to upload. Yeah, that one. It was a shit video
That's
anyway.
the thing. That's the thing with like movie memorabilia, show memorabilia, whatever. Like, what's the ceiling on this? Like, it's infinite. You could get some really wacky stuff.
It's funny that you bring it up, and I know that
there's a Mandalorian set Panini's bringing out.
Oh no!
I bought some because I really like that show.
I love it. Yeah, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
I'm actually interested to see whether or not the artist impressions, the actors' signatures, any of that can actually have some real value because the show was pretty big. It had a lot of hype.
Oh yeah.
So,
I love that show too, Jim. If you want to throw us a box.
I will say it's just before Chesh keeps going, but it's like that captured everything Star Wars that I've been looking for since I was 12 or 10 or whatever. Like it was just everything, the gritty, the down to earth nature of it, and then the actors they got in there. I'm like, this is the best.
Yeah, they nailed it.
And then also the concept art at the end of every episode that didn't get a credit. Like that was what really took me back to. I remember scouring books as kid, like look at the concept art, like, oh, that's what C-3PO could have looked like, or that kind of thing.
Yep.
And that stuff was so evocative. So that kind of stuff in trading card form, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the things I was about to say is that I miss the days of trading cards. Now, don't get me wrong, the sports cards have been around for a very long time, but I mean like Marvel masterpieces and stuff that I used to collect, you know, that back in the day they did actually have some value. And now, like, you can't really get anything like that. There's like the Marvel ones that you want to pick up are the ones that are like a hobby box, and they've got like, you know, I can't remember, they were just like special, very expensive hobby boxes made to a certain amount, because at one point Marvel and whoever trading card company they were going through flooded the market and almost killed trading cards, much like basketball. And they had to wrangle it back in and go, oh, wait a second, like, we just fucked up the entire market. Oh, I'll bring it back. But, like, it's funny because I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z. Because I played the card game for a while until Set 2 destroyed Set 1 and my entire collection was worthless, which is a kick in the teeth. Jim knows what I'm talking about. Like, Panini fucked it really badly. They really did. And it's not really Panini's fault. It's the fault of the guys behind Scorzy who were hired by Panini to do the card game. Because they absolutely had no idea and balance on what they were doing. That's why Scorzy got killed. And then they re-killed
understanding an
Panini's
ecosystem, you know, like it's a very delicate ecosystem. Which
may have changed now. I haven't looked back in on the game, but I enjoy Dragon Ball Z and I enjoy the art, and I'm like, I wish there was a high-end collector's trading card set of Dragon Ball Z that had, like, you know, cool inserts.
Or Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
By the way.
Fine.
That game is insane. It's got some... such a hit-miss sort of game, but yeah, tell you what, it's got some value, and it's got some of the best card art going around. They've done the cards perfect. They just, every time you crack something good, they look great.
Yeah, but every time you crack something good is one in how many boxes?
It is few and far between.
That's what makes it good.
Yes and no.
The better the highs, the lower the lows.
You're after a good card. Here's a case. You might find it in there.
Exactly. That's
might subjectively.
Yeah, might. Like 3 cases later, I still don't have the card that I'm chasing that's worth the money. Like, yep, sorry, too bad.
One thing they did. Well, one thing that's not part of the card game. One thing they did was really good as a storefront. They sent out Dragon Ball Super table dividers. They're like these pillars with perspex. Well, I would say perspex, very thin plastic sheets to set up on all the tables. It's a great marketing gimmick for them, but they were the first people to go, you know what people need in card stores? Sneeze guards.
Oh, wow.
I need something so that you don't breathe your hot mouth on my neck.
And then also advertising space,
And advertising space. Like, as soon as we can open again, they'll be on every table.
Yeah.
Just for as soon as they come out, I went, well, how were they the first people to come up with that idea?
Yeah,
to take over every table in every LCG, LC, whatever we call them, LGS.
LGS,
and
LCS.
To, position ourselves front and center. I think a lot of other card games could look at how they do their marketing.
Yeah, Magic.
And go, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, genius.
I mean, you would think that Magic, like the Wizards, would be the first, but I mean, to be honest,
they should be the lion's share of the market, but. Yeah, they are a bit underwhelming with their in-store support.
I think the reason being is because they don't... I'm sure that they care about physical locations. Like, they keep talking, like, love your LGS, etc. I can't help but feel that it's just not a focus for them.
Why is that one always underneath?
It to be.
Shop at Amazon.
Yeah.
That's
the point. Exactly.
Let's not talk about the Hasbro exclusives.
Yeah, exactly.
The and then,
so there's been
a shitstorm.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of discussions, everything, but it's like I still strongly believe there's the people that, like the Marrow kind of Mark Rosewater, that absolutely understands again the delicate ecosystem and how important the local scene is and your culture for why people even want to play this game in the first place. Because I've said it before, if there's no people in it, I'm not playing the game. I don't care. Like, it's just, what's the point?
Since according to
but
mothership.
it's understanding it, and then there's I think very much in the last year or two, seeing this as a kind of property that they're like, whoa, this is doing well. How much further can we push it? And that's been a big issue at the heart of a lot of things. They're just like, wow, well, is this at the expense of understanding what a physical location, physical cards mean, and the store? And there's been a lot of people that have gone, well, yeah, to show that they do care about that kind of thing. But then there's the whole, there are, of course, I've got to always acknowledge as stakeholders, then there's going to be people in those boardroom meetings that don't fully get that it's not a black and white tangible term or factor. Therefore, they might kind of start to look over it and say, no, this is the heart of it, even if it's hard to quantify sometimes.
Yeah.
As I've always said, and I'll always maintain, the best and worst thing that ever happened to Wizards of the Coast was Hasbro. Made it insanely more profitable, but at the same time also extremely taking out the personal touch that Wizards actually had.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a very vocal community, and I know people will stick up for
corporate
that.
business got to make corporate
sometimes
money.
the culture gets the community gets a bit toxic, but we'll just fight for what's good, I guess. But
anyway, we are trending towards 8 p.m. and we should probably wrap this up.
Good chat.
I agree.
Because food.
Cook some
Thanks,
dinner.
guys.
Exactly.
That's all right. Thanks for
Daryl's
coming
done
on.
again. He said sends a recording to Mothership. Hey, Daryl. Daryl. All right.
Yeah, he also said it was my fault that he's playing
send
Pokemon
away,
online.
exactly. Well,
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So, I guess we should go around and plug some stuff. So, do you have anything to plug, Sam?
Since we talked a little bit about Magic this time, I'd say sometimes.
Sorry, that's my fault.
What's that? Oh, no, definitely. No, dude, I don't want
We
to
do it
talk
all the
about
time.
Magic. Chesh and I do a little podcast called Commander Crunch about the Commander format of Magic the Gathering, which is an absolute joy. And it's a bit like this, but in podcast form. So you can check that out on all wherever you get your podcasts from, or at CMDR_crunch on the Twitters. Or you can find me at Pass the Jam Sam on Twitter or Instagram. See pictures of my bread they're making, completely non-sequitorial. But yeah, exactly.
As for me, you'll find me everywhere under Chesh Breaks, obviously. That's the only plug I have. And of course, visit our lovely sponsor, guff.com.au, for all of your gaming needs. And speaking of, Jim, do you have anything to plug now?
Not really.
Just the store.
No, just come and drop in, say hello, hang out, play some games, buy some stuff if you so choose to, because we'd appreciate that. But
definitely buy stuff. Tell them that Chesh sent you.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel incredibly smug that I can and I will be going to Guff on the weekend again to
fucking
go
prick.
buy some Magic stuff. So yeah, exactly. Oh, and that Wingspan board game, Kate, my wife's actually pretty.
Oh, the expansion's coming out soon.
Yeah, Oceania's coming out. Oceania.
Got a kookaburra.
Australian and New Zealand birds, far out.
Let's make sure your wife gets a copy. I'll look after that.
Yeah, cheers. I look forward to it.
It is a great game.
Jim, it's been an absolute joy, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Like I say, I'm keen to keep the chat going whenever you feel like it or whatever. And if you want to jump on the podcast with us sometime too, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I think I could give that a go.
We've had you on Commander the Gathering, so you know.
Yeah, but you know how bad I am at Commander.
Yeah, it was fine.
But that's the secret to life in Commander. You don't have to be good at it. I'm not very good. It's like we have fun.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, I definitely would enjoy coming on a bit more. Funny, because we were talking earlier before we jumped on live that I have a hesitance to sort of plug and be out there in the public eye, but it's not untangible to be swayed into a game of Commander or something else, let's say.
Exactly.
Ooh, something else. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I just want to go to the pub.
Yeah, much.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to hang out in real life and we can set up a microphone at a pub or a club, or not a club because I'm too old for that shit.
No, I don't do clubs.
A gaming club, let's call it, somewhere out in
a parlor.
Yeah, I want to play Commander with you guys and have 40 other people looking down on us, telling me how bad I am at Commander.
Yeah, exactly. You missed.
That's what every day in my shop is like. It's like, Jim, you are the shittest Magic player in the world. Yes, I am. Jim, you have no idea about NBA cards. And I go, yes, but I've got a lot of them.
Well, I know that one thing is for sure. Once restrictions are properly lifted, I'm going to be organising a bit of a community get together at a local brewery. Actually,
nice.
One of our friends. I don't know. It's local. It's like
a local city local or yeah.
No, it's like a couple of suburbs away, from what I understand. Adam was talking about it.
Like there's a one I went to and played a cube game with a guy who has an enormously expensive cube of amazing Magic cards. Hop Nation in Footscray, I think.
I know the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
they do Jedi juice. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a good place to hang out. But that's the vibe I want. I'm so sick of. I think the day we're allowed to open in Werribee, I'm not going to actually physically open the store. I just want to go, you know what?
Yeah.
We're closed, but you can come and sit, and we're going to get some beers, and I'm going to cook a barbecue out the back like we used to do at pre-release.
See, that's the heart of the game, exactly. Like, if we can't sit around and talk crap about it, then there's not much of a game. And the game's the excuse in a way. Like,
100%.
If you ever want me anywhere, all you need to do is mention barbecue, and I'm like, did somebody say barbecue? Barbecue?
Well, soon we shall be issuing the exclusive walkthrough of the new Geelong store. So, Chesh, hopefully we can get that happening sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Come have a look through, tell us what you think, make sure it's all nice because that's what we're aiming for. But yeah, so we're hoping to have a night where we can get some guys that like yourselves that do a bit of content to actually come and have a bit of a look through. There may or may not be beers involved.
Admit beer.
Absolutely, definitely not under the table. I'm sure that there will be refreshments. I believe is the word you want to use there.
Yeah, no,
I have a stack of Sean Kemp cards for you too. I got doubles.
I was going through a box of stuff the other day, and I found some of the early Michael Jordan stickers. Yeah, I found about half a dozen of those. I was like, this is the real deal.
That's a score.
Stickers.
Exactly. Yeah, stickers pre-card kind of, or like they were in unison for a bit. But yeah. Exactly. Oh, far out. Good times. They must.
All right, guys.
Sweet. We're gonna
Thanks
go.
very much. Appreciate it, and hopefully, if you're happy to have me back, I'd come back.
We'll always have you back. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Better make a mental note. I owe 2
collector's boosters. Just make it 4.
A wingspan.
Make it 4.
Thank you, Wine, for your promises.
Exactly.
We can thank Loophole Sauvignon Blanc for those.
Oh, nice.
We'll get those on board as sponsors.
Exactly. Well, yeah, just keep dropping the name until it happens. Like I say, I'm on Lion Stouts at the moment, which are a nice, cheap but kind of awesome Sri Lankan stout I can get from my little country town. So, good time. Thanks, Daryl and Wade, and anyone else in the comments for hanging out as well.
So, hanging out.
Always friends. Yeah.
Daryl
also, apparently Wingspan is awesome. I've been reading some reviews.
It really is. I played it recently.
And I'm a bird nerd, so I don't.
I shouldn't say recently. It was just before lockdown. I got to play Wingspan with some friends, and it was like, think of it this way. It has the style of play that it has to it will remind you of comboing out in Magic. Like I had a setup that was birds drawing birds to eat birds. It was amazing, and everyone was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm the cannibal bird. I made everything so that my birds just kill my other birds and I get lots of points. And I smashed it. It was great.
I love that. It's like when Kate's got an aversion to Magic, but we were playing Sushi Go, and I'm like, you've just learned how to draft. It's like, you've been bamboozled.
That should be the welcome decks for Magic.
Yeah, Sushi Go. Exactly.
Sushi Go.
Yep,
now replace these pieces of sushi with some elves and some orcs and stuff.
And you're away.
Exactly. Elves and overrun. All right, I think that's time to go.
We better wrap this thing, or else we can go for hours, guys. We've got to go eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, same.
Bye.